Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either July 26th or 27th, 2022. And I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? I want to start off this video by thanking all of you for watching my videos regularly. I really appreciate that. And especially to all of you who leave comments. I usually try to respond to every single comment that I get because I appreciate them very much. However, life has made that a very difficult thing to do recently, so I apologize to all of you who have left comments and that I haven't responded to. Just know that I read them and I really do appreciate them. So I encourage you to keep doing them, please. And for those of you who don't leave comments, maybe think about leaving one because they do genuinely make me very happy. All right, that aside, let's go ahead and move forward into the content of this video. First, by taking a look back 2 weeks ago to my just one book pick from then, which was The Mandalorian issue number 1. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my just one book pick of the week? And the answer is no, it wasn't. In fact, I ended up not even buying The Mandalorian. It was a light week for me. I didn't get around to my comic book shop for a while. By the time I did, I decided to take a pass. Why? Nobody cared about The Mandalorian issue number 1. There was zero movement, upward movement for this book on the secondary market. I thought this was a no-brainer just one book pick. I thought the first full appearance of The Mandalorian and most likely Grogu, this seems like a slam dunk, and nobody cared. I think part of the reason nobody cared is because I heard, and let me know down in the comments if I'm wrong about this, I heard that the first issue was basically what I feared. A retelling of the first episode of the Mandalorian Disney Plus series. Why you would do that, I don't know. People picking up the comic book have seen the series. I can almost guarantee that. Why would you retell that story in the first issue of this book? It seems like a very bad idea. Listen, if you thought your comic book was going to be reaching a bunch of people that had never heard of The Mandalorian and that had never seen The Mandalorian, yeah, you would probably want to retell that story, but how many people picked up that comic book that had never seen The Mandalorian? I think it has to be such a small amount. And once again, because of that, nobody cares. The book has shown no movement on the secondary market, which is why I pulled out this book right here. This is Star Wars Darth Vader issue number 20. This is the variant, the Sprouse variant, I believe they call it. Yeah. Featuring The Mandalorian and Grogu on the cover. If you're going to want a comic book with The Mandalorian and Grogu, it appears that this is going to be the one to have, which really blows my mind because it is just a cover appearance. They are not on the inside. But people so didn't care about The Mandalorian issue number 1 that if they ever do care about The Mandalorian and Grogu in comics moving forward, I think it's going to be in this book. So this might be a good one to have if you have interest in future spec on The Mandalorian. All right, let's leave that behind us. There's a lot I want to talk about in this video. It's probably going to be a bit long. I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible. Let's talk about the books that I will not have as an honorable mention or my just one book pick of the week, but that I am buying this week, that is in my poll this week, are in my poll this week. I am pulling A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 10. Once again, this story is under my skin. I gotta know where this story is going. I've really been enjoying it. I hope you've been checking it out as well, because it's really pretty cool. I'm also picking up Public Domain, issue number 2. Chip Zdarsky, like him a lot. Issue number 1 was interesting. It was a lot of setup. It's definitely like most series that I'm interested in. I gotta give it at least 3 to 5 issues, so this is issue number 2. I'm gonna check it out, but I'm optimistic for where it's gonna go, mostly because of the Chip Zdarsky of it all. I'm also picking up this Obi-Wan issue number, I don't know what issue number it is. I think it's issue number 3 or 4. The Obi-Wan series is fine. it's good. It hasn't blown me away, but it's entertaining, and Obi-Wan's cool, so I'm more than halfway through the limited run of 6, I believe it is. So I'm going to stick with it, but if this was an ongoing, I'd probably be out by now. I'm also picking up Nightmare Country, Sandman Universe Nightmare Country, issue number 4. This one is also under my skin, and I need to know where it's going to go. It's dark, it's twisted, it's I was going to say devious, but deviant, I think, is the better word for it. I am very interested in seeing where that is going to go. And then finally, with my pulls this week, I'm getting a lot this week. I'm getting House of Slaughter issue number 7. I really like Something Is Killing the Children a lot. This is in the world of Something Is Killing the Children. And I'm also interested in seeing where this second arc is going. This is only the second issue in this second arc, so I'm interested in seeing where they go with these characters and with this story. So let's move on to the, I believe it's 4 books that I have as honorable mentions this week, and then my just one book pick of the week. My first honorable mention is a new book. It is called The Magic Order 3, issue number 1 of a 6-issue limited series from Image Comics. Here's the description. Miniseries premiere. Superstar writer Mark Millar launches the 3rd volume of his smash hit horror series with Italian genius Gigi Cavanago on art for another 6-issue run. We've met the American and British members of the Magic Order. Now it's time to meet the Asian chapter, including a brilliant new major player in the upcoming live-action Netflix show, Sammy Liu, L-I-U. This issue will be a huge, in all caps, collector's item. That's the end of the description. Maybe this book will be a huge collector's item. It has all of the trappings of one. It is the first issue of a new series, even though it's like the 3rd volume of it. It is going to feature a new main character in this member of the Asian chapter of the Magic Order. And then apparently the Magic Order is going to be a live-action Netflix show. So yeah, there's a couple different things that are pointing in the direction of this being a story worth checking out, and also pointing in the direction of this having spec potential. So maybe this is something worth checking out. I don't know. I guess if you've probably read the first 2 volumes of this and you really enjoyed them, you're going to be all over the 3rd one. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of the Magic Order and what you thought of it. But even if you haven't read those first 2 volumes, this might be one to pick up. And even if you just buy, once again, the first issue, have that first appearance, file it away in your collection, and hope that the Netflix show is a huge hit and people love the Asian character more than any of the other ones in this series. All right, let's move on to the next honorable mention that I have for you today, which is Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 6 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Landmark issue number 900. The 900th issue of Amazing Spider-Man comes out the month of Spider-Man's 60th anniversary, and we are pulling out all the stops. Someone from Spider-Man's past has captured the Sinister Six and used them to create the truly terrifying Sinister Adaptoid. This is one of the biggest adventures in Spider history, and you will not believe the ending. All right, so basically, the reason that I picked this book is that it is an oversized anniversary issue. 900, I was going to say legacy. 900th issue in the legacy counting of the Amazing Spider-Man. That is cause for celebration. I have a little bit of an issue when people celebrate 25 and 75 and even 50 a little bit, but 900, that is cause for celebration. Now, because this is a 900th issue oversized celebration spectacular, it is a $10 comic book. That is pretty steep. Will it have spec potential? Maybe, but probably not. But it's Spider-Man. I mean, come on. He might be... I was gonna say he might be the coolest superhero or everybody's favorite superhero, but then there's Batman. So definitely in the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man is the ultimate, and getting a 900th issue is so spectacular and amazing that I think it's worth at least an honorable mention. So if you're a Spider-Man fan and you want to celebrate Spider-Man for his 900th birthday, so to speak, this might be a book worth checking out this week. The next honorable mention that I have is Ant-Man, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Flashback to the early days of Hank Pym's career as the astonishing Ant-Man. It's date night for Hank and his girlfriend Janet Van Dyne, but nobody told that to Ant-Man's enemies. Watch as Hank's agonist, oh, that's what they did. That's clever. Band together to finally take down the scientific adventurer. Did I say bank? Band together. But will anyone come to his rescue? And who is the mysterious stranger who stalks him? Join Al Ewing and Tom Riley as they explore the history of every past, present, and future. Every hero called Ant-Man. I did a horrible job reading that description. Please forgive me. But basically, all you need to know is that it's Ant-Man. Ant-Man's fun. Ant-Man was one of those characters that I think really benefited from the MCU. I think Paul Rudd did an amazing job with that character and took a character that probably a lot of people wouldn't be very interested in and made him a character that people would be interested in. So I think that this is a good opportunity to jump on for this character. If you haven't read Ant-Man before, but you like the MCU and you like Ant-Man in the MCU and you want to check out more Ant-Man, this would be a cool thing to check out. I also think that Al Ewing is a fantastic writer. So if anybody's going to go kind of back in time, I guess, into Ant-Man's history and tell additional stories of Ant-Man, I mean, Al Ewing is on the short list of really great writers out there. So there's definitely a lot of potential for great storytelling in this series. So if you're interested in Ant-Man at all, I might recommend you check out this book this week. All right, what's next? Yes, I believe this is my final honorable mention of the day. It is. It is a new book. It is Gambit, issue number 1 of a 5-issue limited series from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. All new adventures of the legendary thief by co-creator Chris Claremont. You think you know all there is to know about Remy LeBeau, the Ragin' Cajun, the mutant known as Gambit? But legendary ex-scribe Chris Claremont has an ace up his sleeve with this new series. Before he joined the X-Men, Gambit encountered a mysterious girl named Ro. The mutant Storm regressed to her child self by the nefarious Nanny, and the two went up against the forces of the Shadow King. Now, revealed for the first time, Gambit finds his path to becoming the heroic X-Man millions of fans call their favorite. Joined by rising star artist Sid Kotian, Chris weaves a story of action, intrigue, and revenge that made Gambit the mutant he is and forged his relationship with Storm. You'll get a charge out of this one, mon ami. Okay, so this one, in a lot of ways, is a personal choice. I am going back and forth on whether or not I'm going to pick this book up. In some respects, I'm like, I don't need to read a Gambit title that takes place in the past right now. I don't really need that in my life, especially in a week where I'm already buying a decent amount of comic books, and I really try to limit the amount of money that I spend weekly on my comic books. But then I think, this sounds really awesome. We're going back with this story to what is considered by me to be the heyday of X-Men storytelling. This is the era of X-Men storytelling that when I was a kid, I was buying the X-Men comics every time they came out. It was one of the most exciting things that I got to read as a child. I just love this era of X-Men. And I love Chris Claremont as an X-Men writer. So you give me the X-Men that I love so much, written by the X-Men writer that I love so much. And I'm like, well, of course I have to read that. If there's any kind of like, I don't know, sentimentality or like going back to my childhood that I ever do with collecting comics, and admittedly, there is. This is really pushing that button. So the more I talk about it right now in this video, the more I think, yeah, I'm going to pick up issue number 1. Maybe I won't pick up all 5 issues. Maybe I'll pick up issue number 1, and if I finish issue number 1 and I'm like, that was really cool, I'll pick up the other 4 and get the complete 5 series. If I just read issue number 1, I was like, yeah, it was better when I read it back in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm not exactly sure when Gambit officially showed up. I know 266, but not exactly what year that came out. Then I will keep reading it. So if I like it, I won't. If I do, I will. So like I said, I think I'll probably pick it up just because it's Chris Claremont. It's the X-Men that I love so much, and I can't say no to it. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the last book that we're going to be talking about today, which is my Just One Book pick of the week. And my Just One Book pick this week is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25. I know, but I have some good reasons for it. Here's the description. With over 2 million copies of the series sold to date, the first arc of Erica's mission in tribulation reaches its shocking conclusion in this milestone anniversary issue that no Something is Killing the Children fan will want to miss. While Erica's blades are occupied with an entity unlike anything she's faced, she receives a phone call with tragedy on the other end of the line. As things look dire, someone Erica once saved may have to find unexpected help to return the favor. Okay, so first, the elephants in the room. Yes, I'm a gigantic Something is Killing the Children fan. Yes, Something is Killing the Children, every time it comes out, is either an honorable mention or my pick of the week. As a reminder, these are personal picks that I share with you. These picks might not always be for everybody, but when I looked at the books that were coming out this week and I thought to myself, what am I most excited about? It was this book. Now, also, it's a 25th issue anniversary issue. And I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm not particularly a fan of celebrating 25 issues. 50 maybe, so 75, just like 25. 100, definitely. But it's an anniversary issue, and it's, I believe, slightly oversized because it's a little bit more expensive. It's $4.99. So I'm interested, and it's the end of this first arc, so I think there may be some excitement there. They do reference specifically in this description that she receives a phone call with tragedy on the other end of the line. The implication there is that potentially a main-ish character is going to die. There's a lot of guesses about who that is, and they basically all kind of point to the same person. I think they're probably accurate. It's going to be a little bit disappointing for me because I like the character, but I think it'll be okay ultimately. So that will be worth checking out from a story's perspective. So I'm looking forward to that. But one thing I want to mention, one thing that really kind of drove home the fact that I had to make Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25, my Just One Book pick of the week this week, is something thing that just happened this past Friday, which was the Eisner Awards. James Tynion IV was nominated for multiple Eisner Awards. He was nominated in the young adult category for Wind. Unfortunately, that one didn't win. But he did win for Best New Series with The Nice House on the Lake. He won Best Writer for the second year in a row. That is amazing. To win Best Writer once, that's an impressive accomplishment. To win it in back-to-back years, basically, in my opinion, cements his status as the best writer in comic books right now. Just, it seems to be unquestionable. And then finally, in addition, he won a third Eisner Award this past Friday for Best Ongoing Series with Something is Killing the Children. Full disclosure, it tied with Bitterroot, I believe it was. But still, a tie in this instance means two winners, and Something is Killing the Children was one of those winners of the best ongoing series in all of comic books. So because of the Eisners, because of my excitement over this title and my love of this title, because it's an anniversary issue, and even though I'm not a big fan of that, it does kind of pump up significance a little bit. For all of these reasons, this is why I just had to make Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25, my just one book pick for this week. All right, that's it. I'm sure this video was much too long. Thank you so much for watching it all the way to the end. If you appreciate it, likes are appreciated by me. Subscribing is also appreciated by me. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.